before he joins in, I am going to be interviewing Jared Cain, a journalist from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, my hometown. Super excited, so hopefully he'll join in soon. Still connecting here. Alrighty. What's up,
All right.
Cain?
Hey, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing good.
That's good. That's good. I gotta turn you up on my end a little bit because I got a loud AC going.
Oh, yeah. Now, can you see my face?
I can't see you.
Oh, okay. Wait. I got it.
Oh, there we are. Okay, I see you now.
How are you?
It's been a long time since I last saw you.
What was it, March?
March, yeah. Yeah, right before quarantine. How's quarantine been for you?
I've been decent. I got my select friends that come in and out. I got my 2 dogs. They just chill out. I do pretty good.
Definitely.
School year's starting up now, so we're back. The teachers are back, so.
That's exciting. I mean, I can't relate anymore, but I'm gonna miss a little bit. Just a little bit. I'm gonna miss messing with you.
I know how it feels. You first year in college, you're ready to go.
Oh yeah, and I just moved out of the state last month, so. Whew.
So are you in your own apartment or are you on campus?
So I'm with my aunt actually.
Oh, you're online.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's always wanted me to move in with her since I was a little girl, and now that I'm 18, I was like, you know what, let's do it.
No, that's good. That's good.
Yeah. She wants to put me on the right path, so I was like, let me take the opportunity because not many kids do.
No.
You know. But we're gonna dive right into this interview. Let's dive in. You ready? So I'm gonna ask you. Oh, you got your. I got my Gatorade.
No, I'm a teacher, so it's a little coffee.
Right. I'm gonna ask you, but you are a journalist, about journalism. I'm really into that kind of stuff. So, if you don't mind, can you touch base on what motivated you to pursue journalism?
What motivated me to pursue journalism? It started in college, and I didn't know what to do with my life. When I got out of high school, I was like, I don't know what I want to be when I grow up. I'm good at a lot of things, and even now to this day, I'm still good at a lot of things. But so I just jumped into business because I'm like, business is everywhere. You need business for everything. You can't start up your car without having to do some type of business of gas. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just start with business and see where I go. Well, just sitting on campus and being at school, I kind of just started exploring things and whatnot. And then I started understanding that this era was the information age. And the reason I started dwelling on it is because my parents are from the industrial age. They're older, they're baby boomers. So I'm just like, I do not relate to your struggle at all. Like my struggle is totally different. What is going on? Like I can't do it like you did it. It's not gonna work that way, not anymore. And it's because it's a different era. So what about this era makes it different?
I'm sorry if you hear like airplanes. I'm next to like a military base, so you'll hear airplanes and we get random thunderstorms. So I'm warning you right now.
No, you're fine. No, what it is just the information age, and like things have to be different. And one big thing is like just look at YouTube.
Sure.
YouTube before the iPhone, definitely changed everything. YouTube really, not really kicked it off. I really say what really kicked off the information age was the start of Mac and having PC computers, but that's like prehistoric stuff to like, because it's really not our era. But our era is YouTube. YouTube, MySpace, Yahoo Music. I mean, Yahoo, not music, Yahoo Messenger kind of kicked it all off. And all it kicked it off with is being able to pass information so fast. Like now information and education that wasn't available to folks is now available at the touch of a finger, you're right here. So I always noticed something about where I lived at, and it was Milwaukee. I lived in Milwaukee. I'm from Milwaukee.
Yeah.
I'm from one of the most segregated, most red line places in the nation.
Sure. I even tell people all the time, if you go to Milwaukee, you're going to notice, even in today's age, how segregated it is, because you got the north side and you got the south side, you got the east side and the west side, and they're all segregated. Like, you know what I mean? It's just, man.
Like, a lot of the terms you hear in history books were really created in Milwaukee.
Oh,
so,
for sure.
Like, I perceived that, but I was noticing that, like, before all this information and like Google got big and all of this and all of that got big, like people where I'm from were going off of myths and thinking of myths and whatever, thinking it was true, or just listening to their homeboy thinking it was true. They couldn't go look up any real information because they didn't have it there.
Yeah.
And that information wasn't there because the education wasn't there. The education was there for other folks, you know, but it wasn't there for us. So I'm thinking in my head, like, how do I pass information? So in college, I was just like, the passing of information is definitely key. And then that's low key where the money is, because information gets passed, but while you're passing information, people want information. So if people want information, to get information, you have to pay attention. If you pay attention, I just said it, you paid attention. So cable, that's paid attention, that's information, that's journaling. This is really journaling, kind of, in a mix. But journaling is, in a sense, just passing information as far as news, things like that. News or some journalists just interpret their world and put it out there.
Yeah.
And that's journalism. That's more like the journalism I like to do now, because I'm so tainted by major news sources. Definitely. And the takeover that they've done. Like it's brought a lot of perspective to me, even just this year.
Oh yeah, there's a lot that's happened this year that really makes you really understand how the media works, and how media can actually be portrayed in situations such as what's happening right now in our country alone, not just the world, but our country and our hometowns. And
a lot of people don't even understand you have the president of the United States, who people look up to as just this most glorifying position in the world, which really it doesn't affect your life a lot. But the only way the president can talk to you is through through television, internet. Like, he has to go through the medium to get to you. He can't just
for sure
hop on the intercom. Hey, psst, yo, he can't do that. So everything gets twisted and turned, and everything. The dollar. It kind of messes up the system, but at the same time, you have to be objective. And that's what I love about journalism, the objectiveness that certain people can have, and pushing out good information.
There's a lot that's just going on, in the world that can be twisted and turned, and it's kind of interesting seeing how one source has this information, but yet another source has a complete opposite of what this source is trying to say.
Right.
And it's just like, what source do I go to? What source should I trust? It's like, I don't want to say a coin flip, but it's a coin flip because it's 50-50. You don't know if this person's correct half the time, and you don't know if this person's correct half the time.
And when I see that, I go back to a time where I was in high school. I was in drama class, and we had to put on this play called Us and Them. And getting into the play, trying to get into character and all that, remembering the lines and all this, even though it's my like first or second, maybe even third play or something, I'm just trying to get it all right. And I started realizing something because I got to memorize these lines and try to be these people. I'm just like, the story of Us and Them, the story had no names. Nobody had names. It was just two groups battling for no reason at all over the same land and they just wanted to see what was over there. What's over there? What's over there? Or no, we do this and we don't do what you do over there. And the reason the story had no names is because it happens everywhere. It's even in the media. You got, for example, you got Fox and then you got CNN.
The two biggest ones, literally.
You're torn in between the two because, one, you may have grown up conservative, but your views may be liberal. So where do you go? And why is it even like that?
Exactly.
Why is that narrative like that? Is somebody paying for this? Who is paying? You don't know. So it's hard to really look. You got to really be able to do your own independent research because some of our major outlets are not as objective as they should be.
For sure. We're going to throw in some little rep in the schools because you went to the University of Lincoln in Missouri, right? Or
Right.
Lincoln University in Missouri. Hey, I heard that was a great school. You tell me a whole bunch of stories in the middle of the hallway. I went to high school. You were actually a teacher at my high school. And me and you clicked through sports, actually. And messing with Mr. Douglas, who's a science teacher. He's an Astros fan. We love him. But, in what ways? Huh?
He cut his beard.
Shut up!
He's got this cop stash thing. He did as a joke with his girlfriend. It's hilarious.
You're gonna have to send me a picture. I have to see that.
Yes, well, I haven't seen him in person, but
yeah,
you know how everything is.
Yeah. Are they even letting teachers in the buildings anymore?
Yeah, I could go to my classroom.
Oh man.
I mean, I could, but I mean,
you don't want to.
Yeah, I mean, I'm comfortable here.
Right? I'm like, let me stay home. Let me teach from home.
I'm actually kind of digging this,
Yeah. I mean, you're so used to it now because we've been in quarantine for, I want to say 3 months, 4 months now? Just about, roughly.
We're going into the 5th month.
5th month, wow. Because I know the exact date that MPS said, okay, we're done, which was March 13th, because it was Friday the 13th.
Yeah, we're going, because you got March, April, May, June, July, August. We're going into the 7th.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, March, April, May, June, July. This is August.
Oh, wow. It's so crazy how you get so comfortable to something and it just goes by so fast.
Yeah, I'm power gliding through this year. This year is terrible.
Oh, yeah. 2021, not 2020, 2021 better do something. Better outshine.
They kicked it. They kicked it off with so many bangers. I couldn't even. We almost started a war. Kobe, Corona.
Yes. A lot. And
Killer Bee.
Kobe affected you so much because I remember you even talking about it when we were in school a lot.
I mean, yeah, for me, it's just like Kobe is my era.
Yeah.
Like by the time I became conscious enough to understand what's going on the TV screen, I remember Space Jam coming out.
That I love Space Jam.
And that's what even introduced me to Jordan, because I didn't know who he was. I was too young. I was born in 92, so that's 96 right there. I'm only 4, so I'm still running outside. I think I got a Nintendo game, like Nintendo. The PlayStation wasn't even out. Like, so what was it? The Space Jam introduced me to like Michael Jordan and stuff. So right after Michael Jordan, that's right after Space Jam. That's Kobe and them coming to the league. So I'm at that age where my dad is putting me in sports and this and that. Hey, look at them. These are the guys on TV right now. Then by the time I was old enough to have my own desktop computer, my dad used to love building computers. I used to get on like I can't remember if it was Disney, Nick, or CartoonNetwork.com, but I used to get on, and Shaq and Kobe had a game on there. It was my favorite game ever. It could have been Cartoon Network.
I love their relationship. I loved how Shaq and Kobe were literally like brothers. No matter the differences that they had, because they were on a team. We know how that can get. You're on a team. Yeah. I'm better than you. No, I'm better than you, kind of thing. I just love that they took that energy, but then they made it so much. How would I say? So much greater than basketball.
Right.
You know, you didn't even feel like you were watching two teammates. You felt like you were watching brothers going head to head on the same team. And I just love that energy that they had. It's just crazy.
That was one of the best duos ever.
Oh, 100%. Nobody can replace Shaq and Kobe for all of eternity. It's just, you even ask people when you ask them about the NBA, who are the 2 players that you can name, they'll always name Shaq and Kobe. Those are 2 players. Most people, or Jordan. Let's throw 3 in there, Jordan. But definitely.
What are you like? That's hot. That's what introduced me to Kobe. So now I couldn't lie and say that Kobe was like my favorite player. No, it was T-Mac. Right. T-Mac was my favorite player.
Oh yeah.
But you're still in that era because T-Mac and Kobe, like you as for my favorite player, you're his biggest rival as far as who's the best out of your year from your era. Like who's the best? So I love Kobe, watching Kobe's games and all that. I never played with the Lakers, but like I hated playing them because Kobe was on the team. And like offensively, no, I couldn't control him, even on a video game. Offensively, he's a dog. Like I couldn't control him. Like none of that. I hated playing the Lakers. It didn't matter if like who I was. It didn't matter that Shaq was on. It was Kobe.
Right.
Even if it was a computer, it was Kobe.
100%.
Pissed me off. Like, dude, get out of here.
And I love like even when like he gets interviewed by journalists for sports, which me and you love so much sports journalism. But you know that. And it's so funny. Like they'll ask him a question and he'll totally talk about it, but then he'll talk about something totally different outside of basketball, and it's just like, yes, this is the side we need.
The thing about Kobe is Kobe was amazing, and the reason that he got spotlighted a lot is not just because of his basketball efforts, because there was a lot of great players out there that never got the screen time that he got,
100%.
And it's because Kobe was a smart dude. Kobe was a journalist.
Exactly.
That's what he did. Matter of fact, Kobe had a rap career. All rappers are journalists. All singers are journalists. They're all journalists. This is what you do.
Shaq was even a rapper.
Yeah, like especially if you're a lyricist that speaks on life as you see it, or life as how it happens. Even though you sang it or you rapped it out, you're pushing information out there.
Yes, definitely. And even today, from athletes that were playing in the earlier days, you see them now actually on the screen, such as you got Charles Barkley, Kenny the Jet Smith, EJ, and Shaq all on inside the NBA on TNT. They're being journalists to us because we might have missed the game, but we can get the information from them. Right. And that's what I love, is that they don't just take it as, oh, I'm an athlete. I'm going to do something even greater than just being an athlete. I'm going to take that and use it for something different. Like, I can talk from both sides, point of views. It's just, I love that.
You got to use your platform when you see fit or when you're comfortable. Sometimes even when you're uncomfortable, you have to use your platform because
100%.
hey, you got a base of, let's say like for example, LeBron, like you got a base of like 57 million followers or something. It's probably way more than that.
Yeah.
Probably like 100 million on Instagram.
He's up there.
But like you have this platform, you got Instagram, you got a Twitter platform that's crazy. You got all these different platforms that's not even recording basketball. Nobody really wants to hear you talk about basketball unless you're insulting another player or just not even insults, but bigging up another player. Nobody wants to. Outside of those two, nobody wants to hear it.
Nope.
But about basketball. But if you talk about something else and bring controversy somewhere else, people are going to listen because they want to know who you are anyway.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
I commend LeBron James for doing a lot of stuff that he does.
Oh, yeah.
But then at that, not everybody has to do it because I was just upset about J. Cole because I felt like he could have used it more, used his platform more because you got this big base.
Definitely.
That's why we follow you. We're not following you to if I was following you to hear your music, I would just have you on Apple Music. I wouldn't follow you.
Follow you on every platform that you have. Like, that's even, like, there's a lot of, even today with journalists and stuff, there's a lot of them that have such great big platforms that are staying silent about things that are happening in our country today, or even in our nation, I just said our nation, in our world, and they're still being silent. And I never understood that. And I feel like, in a way, that's what's affecting journalism is there are still journalists to this day that are staying silent about major things that are impacting our world. And I feel like even if you are a journalist, like even though I want to go into sports journalism, I feel like I can't just decide to just sports. I feel like I would have you should go beyond what you're comfortable with. So yeah, I talk sports, but let's talk about what's happening now. How our world literally just went kaboom within these last few months because people don't respect people.
Oh no. People, and I understand that, but at the same time, it shouldn't be accepted.
Exactly. Yeah.
Just because it happened before in the past, or that's the way things were, it should not be accepted. And then sometimes it's up to journalists to speak up or journalists to create a platform to get information around so people can adjust and change on how they need, how they need be. But at the same time, when you say it like that, some folks, they take it and they don't let people make their own choices.
Yeah.
And to me, when you manipulate that, you no longer are a journalist and you become a blogger. Yeah. And there's a lot of TV shows or web shows that we feel that get called the news or that we think are the news, but they're really just...
They're not. They're just their own little piece. They're themselves.
They're just video bloggers.
Yeah.
In a sense. Because they manipulate too much.
Oh, 100%. It's crazy how things are, especially when you have to be the one to keep up with everything because you want to make sure you have it all. You want to make sure, okay, I want to be on good terms with this person and this person, but they both have two different agreements. Like, you're going to offend somebody just because you believe one thing or another. I've learned that because, moving down here to North Carolina, I'm in a Confederate state, and down the street, there's all these Confederate flags, and I'm just like, oh, y'all can have that over there, But at the same time, I'm like, I'm gonna have to drive past it to get into town to get my food, to get gas, to get all these things, and I always have to keep in the back of my mind, like my brain, like I'm not gonna please everybody. Not acceptable that they believe in these type of things. But I also have to understand, like, okay, this is how they were raised. They were raised here in North Carolina. They are taught the history of North Carolina as a Confederate state. They're taught this was their morals here in this state versus back in Wisconsin. We don't have Confederate flags like that, like how they have here. Yeah, we might have some up north from Milwaukee, but you're still gonna find people that are just not gonna be pleased with even just how you look, which is really sad.
You know what I find so displeasing about Confederate flags is not only the hatred that grew from it,
Mm-hmm.
or the hatred that was in it, that was the oppression that it brought, but the fact that people to this day can call it their heritage.
Yeah.
When you have other people in here that have a skin color that can't even go that far back because of that flag.
100%.
And I don't understand that. That's that flag is the entire reason that we still are fighting for reparations.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's that flag. That's the flag that did it. That flag created the Star Spangled Banners. It talk about slaves building the country, but it still talks about slaves. Like what? It was that flag. So I understand that. Okay, yeah, in your mind it's history, but let that be history and put it
100%.
in a museum where it's supposed to be.
Oh, definitely.
Only in a museum is where that should be. Just like a Nazi sign. A Nazi sign should only be in a museum.
Exactly, yes.
It shouldn't be flaunted around. Yes, this is the home of the free, home of the brave, but at the same time, like what are you saying? Are you posting these like this? That's not freedom right there. That's an entire mind state of oppression. And this is right. That is wrong. Like, no.
This is like, you can call it your heritage, but people can leave that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you can leave, you can stop your family traditions, you can stop all that. You have the power to do that. It's just, to me, I feel a little upset that they think, I don't want to word this weirdly, or not to where it makes sense, but you can leave that. You know what I mean? That's like, I hate to throw a religion in there. You can leave the religion that you grew up in. I did. I grew up Catholic. I left the Catholic Church, and I became a Pentecostal. And you have the power to do that. And it's just the mindset that these people can have. It's sad, honestly. Like, I get that's what you're comfortable with, but you have to go outside of your comfort zone to build who you are at the same time.
Yeah, you hit on it when you said it's all a mind state. Most of everything is a mind state. Like you touched on religion. Most religions and science, they all come together. They all really say the same thing. It's just about point of view, how you believe it happened. Even when you really look at it, all of it says the same stuff. It all comes from you. Like, but with that, it's just, it's heartbreaking to see that like people want to hold on to it. What are you holding on to that for? That is the past. Why are you still trying to hold the past here? Is it that you still want the past here? Is it and who taught you that? Because it's supposed to die at 150, no, how long? 1860 something?
Yeah.
Like it was supposed to die in 1860. That's over 100 and what? 160 years ago.
Yeah.
Most men died.
Oh yeah, it's so crazy. I think we only have like literally, I don't know if it's going to 3:30. If I don't remember if I put that, because I'm an hour ahead, so it says it's 4:30, so it's 3:30 on your end. We're gonna have to definitely do this again because we were really invested on so much. Like, this is why I connect with you so much. Like, you love to talk about mainstream, what should be talked about. Doesn't matter if it's sports, world events, current events, it doesn't matter. Me and you, I love that we can do this.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yes, we're gonna have to do this again. Hopefully when school's kind of okay, when you're not too busy.
Yeah, because I still, you know, even though we're being taught how to work everything,
yeah,
nobody knows. Nobody knows. Think about it. Nobody knows.
really knows the real answer.
Nobody knows because nobody's ever been through this. So nobody knows how this is going to go.
100%.
In all due honesty, for me, I'm thinking this is kind of a teacher's dream. It can be, but at the same time, it can go wrong.
Right.
We've never had only higher education is going totally online.
Oh yeah.
For that, like, we don't know how people are going to act. We don't know the lasting effects on what this year will do to kids not being able to be sociable with their other peers.
Yes. Yes.
I hate to speak out loud and say this, but like, even though we are humans and we don't consider ourselves animals, we still come from that. And so we just like, for us, we get with dogs and cats a lot. So just like domesticated dogs and cats, you have to keep people with their litter mates, or you have to keep people sociable. So when they grow up, they're not total menaces, and you can come around them. Next thing you know, you got a war zone everywhere because nobody knows how to interact with each other. Just only social on the computer and whatnot.
Or even just this little thing right here. It's literally at our fingertips.
Yeah. But next thing you know, you got people coming into homes and they don't even know how to correctly do gestures and whatnot. Like, you don't know, because people are at that critical age where they're really supposed to be learning that.
Well, right now. For sure. That's even like, I don't remember who I said this to, but with autocorrect, when we're typing, it corrects it for us. So when we go to school and do like our testing, let's say we English tests and stuff and grammar counts, we don't do the correct grammar because it's already corrected for us. So then
you just pointed something out. That's the difference in between millennials and I think right now they gave, other than like Gen Z, I think the name is like Supercentennials or something. But that's the difference in between Gen Z and millennials. Because millennials, we actually got taught cursive. We were the last folks.
I was taught cursive.
We taught cursive
in third grade. And I write cursive all the time. You've seen how I write. I'll write cursive and then print. And then people are like, I can't read. I'm like, you can't read cursive? Are you serious?
Yeah. Second and third grade is when I learned cursive.
That's when I learned cursive.
But yeah, a lot of your peers don't know how to, they don't know.
Not to throw my old high school under the bus, but a lot of people at Bayview don't. For sure.
And it's just because people just, they didn't get taught it. But that's also another difference. It's just like having social media, growing up as a kid with a device in your hand.
Yeah.
But most millennials, we didn't get that until high school, middle school. Yeah, I think middle school up to like early adulthood, early career. Those are the folks. That's when we got electronics like that to be able to walk around. So that's the difference right there in the age. Like we were in two different spots.
Literally. And I feel like not only that, I feel like that's the main reason why a lot of people don't go towards journalism, because they know that they're going to have to basically relearn a lot of things and work, I'm not going to say harder, but versus I'm speak on English classes. We had to write papers. Now, kids will take the easy way out I couldn't because I knew I had to be I wanted to be a journalist. I'm gonna have to learn to do the hard stuff. And I think that's where where people choosing or debating on journalism is, I feel like sometimes they're scared that, one, they're not going to succeed in this industry because they don't have the right proper skills, such as writing, public speaking, things like that. And there's so many opportunities, even in high school, that can help you with that. You just got to find the right people, find what works best for you, and networking. Networking is a big thing.
This is how I try to explain it to students, trying to explain reading and writing and why it's so important. Because it's just like Fortnite.
Yeah.
Because they all can relate to Fortnite. So you get on Fortnite, it's your first month playing, first week, first day, whatever. You get on, and immediately everybody's better than you.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, you just have to get good at it. Once you keep playing around with it and juggling at it, you'll start catching on to it. Okay, this and that, this makes sense. Okay, let me duck because this guy's shooting assault rifle bullets and it's shooting fast, so I got to get in there. Well, it's the same thing for reading and writing. If you don't know how to do it, you'll suck, and people can keep coming around and killing you and doing whatever they want with you because you don't know how to play.
100%. That is.
Well, reading and writing is the same thing. You'll have these other people who've been practicing it for a long time. They'll get to come over and play you. They get to play around with you, and they get to do whatever they want because you can't understand what's going on. You can't manipulate the world like they do, and that's an issue. Do you really want this dude rough around? You just said he was ugly, but now he slickly told you that he can get you a job when, in all due honesty, you can do better somewhere else, but you can't use your language. You can't figure it out to do better, and you probably could be his boss, or be the reason that his company is still getting financed or something like that,
Right,
Well,
exactly.
And that's the analogy I try to use.
That's a great analogy. I would have never thought of that, honestly. I don't play Fortnite. My 4-year-old cousin's trying to teach me how to play this, and he knows how to play it, and he's 4. And he'll come over and he'll be like, Savannah, do you not play Fortnite? I'm like, no. He's like, let me see your phone. I was like, I ain't got it on my phone, and I don't have a PlayStation or an Xbox. Nope.
But I mean, I use Fortnite in that example, but I can use basketball.
Yeah, I can probably relate to that one.
I can use basketball. I can use football.
Yeah.
It's just like anything else.
100%.
Yeah, it may seem hard, but that's what it is. Everything is hard.
Life in general is hard.
Yeah, nothing. There's one thing one of my mentors used to say to me. He used to say, perception is everything. It doesn't mean that your perception may be reality. It doesn't mean that your perception may be what reality really is, but who's to say what reality really is?
Right.
Because reality changes with whoever is holding the perception. So everything is all about how you perceive it. Mostly everything is made up.
Literally.
Made it all up.
And this is like, me and you have had multiple conversations. We love picking on Douglas because of the simple fact of Astros. That's our big thing with him. You know how that is. And I used to skip Mr. X class and go into Douglas' room with Cain and Douglas, and I would have my work done. I didn't really skip because I already had it done, but I would skip because I wasn't in there. Does that make sense? And we would just sit there and just talk. We would have conversations, just talk. It didn't matter if it was sports, what was happening, or whoever was thinking. It could be something random that one of us said, and we are talking, and we didn't even realize the bell would ring, and then we're like, oh, wait, I gotta get to the next one.
Yeah, that's what these moments are. Those moments right there are for this, so you can keep on continuing to be educated, because you you began to enjoy learning?
Oh, 100%. You know how it was. I would randomly just pop my head into your class while you're teaching just to see what you're doing, what you're teaching about, and then I dip. Because you know how I am. I can be a distraction because I'm loud. You know that. I used to scream in the hallways all the time. I literally, who was it that just, Rashad. I don't know if you remember, you know Rashad from Boys and Girls Club at Bayview.
Yeah.
He literally told me before school, and he's like, I hate to admit it, but I'm gonna miss you screaming at 8:30 in the morning my name, because I used to scream, because I used to make sure, I'm like, you're still asleep. That's not okay. If I'm wide awake, you're wide awake. I'm just a loud and bubbly person. Like,
I was glad they didn't give me a first period last year.
ooh, did they give you one this year?
Yeah, but no matter, I mean, I'm at home.
Right.
And I'm not the content teacher. I'm the supplementary teacher for special needs. So honestly, most of my work will be done off screen.
Oh, well, baller.
It's kind of hard to have two people on one screen and for you to pay attention to both of them at the same time.
You don't know who to look at. You're like,
yeah, who to look at. So most of my stuff will be done off screen. Just making sure everybody has help, so I know who all the students are that I need to talk to and need to help out here and there. So that's why I said it should be a teacher's dream, but you never know. Things can go far left.
Yes. And it's so funny because I used to use the term, oh, that just threw me into left field. Now I'm going to start using right field because my favorite player ain't in right field no more because they switched the sides. So Christian Yelich to left, and I'm trying to be on left. I'm trying to be in left field. So I can't use Ryan Braun anymore as that. And I'm so sad about it, but, you know, that's okay. I'm so upset that they took my seats away in Miller Park. That was right there by Christian Yelich now. Oh, we love Wisconsin.
Well, hey, I gotta take him somewhere. So
definitely, I gotta get going. I gotta let my dog out. He's waiting for me. Oh, he froze. Don't know if it ended.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Am I here?
Yeah, you're here. I see you. I'm lapsing there like this. Woo.
Yeah, I still got my two little.
Oh, puppy dogs.
Yeah.
I need your verbal consent. Can this go on YouTube on my Savvy Sports page?
What you say now?
Can I get your verbal consent that this can go on my Savvy Sports Network YouTube?
Go ahead. Yeah,
okay. You're gonna be the first video up on. I told you would be the first, and you didn't believe me.
Hey.
I thought we were gonna make it possible one way or another.
All right, now.
We're definitely gonna have to do some more interviews. Also, where can people follow you if they also want to ask questions or follow you through your journey of life and whatnot? I'll let you plug yourself for a minute.
If you want to follow my journey, basically on all platforms, I am at the number one Carrot with a K, Karot, 1 Carrot. Find me on all social platforms.
I got you. See, I'm letting you plug right now. That's how you know I love you, dude. I don't let nobody do that.
Plug it in. What y'all say? Tap in.
Right?
But all right now.
All right. Thank you so much. I love you, Cain. I will see you soon, hopefully. I'll be in Milwaukee Monday because I have a family emergency, but I'll be there for 3 weeks, so hopefully I'll be able to see you. Don't know if you're going to be at the school or not. I'll be down the street.
I may go into the building. I may not. It's kind of at my discretion. I really don't have to have the classroom cleaned up until later on.
Right.
So it looks like my room probably looks like how it's been looking since March. I think the last time I went in was April or May. Yeah.
I mean, at least you don't have like a big classroom like how Racket does. At least you don't have like the gymnasium. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah. But the custodians do that one, so you good with the gymnasium. So all he's got is a little office.
Oh, for sure. All right, well, I'm gonna let you go. You gotta go handle with your homeboy.
All right.
Make sure everybody that's watching this needs to follow him because, man, he is the best person to ask about anything. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's something stupid. He always has an answer.
All right. Now.
All right. I'll see you later.
See ya.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.